If you are anything like me and are just wondering who's getting away with naming birds and plants this naughty stuff, yeah, you got a home here. Welcome to the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state and a world that we live in. And we appreciate you hanging with us. A lot went down. There was a lot going on. We're gonna get to the birds and the plants in a bit, I promise. But a lot went down yesterday that I want to chat with you about. And by the way, if you heard Jason from Green Mountain Grills on yesterday, hope you got a lot out of that. And if you are considering any type of a pellet grill, I'm telling you, look up Green Mountain, go local. And like I said, they're a local company with a global footprint. So just yeah, support, right? And this is the best customer service in the business, period. Because eventually you are going to have some sort of problems cooking on a pellet grill. You're just going to. They're it's a solid piece of machinery. So anyway, yesterday I was at the Small Business Summit at your Arizona Game and Fish Department, and we get this kind of economic overview of what's going on in the world of the outdoors here in Arizona. And we get like a legislative update with a lot of the stuff going on at the state House and Senate as it pertains to our outdoor world. And we get a lot of cool things. I'm going to give you a little bit. What's up, Eddie? I'm going to give you a little bit of a background here, so just economic impact alone of our outdoor world. And I'm going to go to my spectacles here. How about this? Arizona recreational spending. Now, again, just what's up, Scotty? It is. Thank you very much. 49 today. So very proud to be not 50. There we go. Arizona recreational spending generates 201,000 direct jobs right here in Arizona. 201,000 jobs. 21.2 billion in consumer spending, 5.7 billion in wages and salaries, 1.4 billion in state and local tax revenue. Boom. I just love that kind of information because, we always get a lot of pushback on the hunting and fishing and things like that. And thanks, Eddie. Appreciate it, man. And we get a lot of pushback on that. And when you say, look, we not only fund conservation, we fund 201,000 jobs just in this state alone. Right? Okay. So then you extrapolate that out to the 10 million it would be nationwide if that were the same in every state. So Interesting. What else did we learn? Let's see here. Recreational spending. Here we go. 65% of Arizona residents now participate in outdoor recreation. How awesome is that? I love this number. 65% of Arizona residents now participate in outdoor recreation. I want that number to come up about 10, 15 points. And I think all of us can do it. Okay. I think all of us can get there if we just encourage open arms, winning hearts and minds, being cool about things, not being a punk, and not being you don't belong in the outdoors. You vote this way. We want you. If you vote this way, I don't care if you're wearing skinny jeans and a beanie in the middle and a hoodie in the middle of August. Don't care. We want you. We love you. Come on out. Try some fishing. Well, thank you very much, my lady. Mm-hmm. Yeah, appreciate that. Look at that. Little hearts and faces in there. Okay. Anyway, you can't throw me off of it. And I'm totally thrown off. All right, let's get, that threw me off. Hi. This everybody, Becky, everybody. License sales. Let's get to this here. License sales are doing great. Let's just put it that way. How to throw off a host. Yeah. Have your girlfriend pop on and say happy birthday. So anyway, hi. One thing about the business summit yesterday, and we're one of the few states that do this nationwide, but they have a national business summit that takes place. I don't know when, don't know where, but my buddy Scott Lavin and Doug Burt took it over here in the state and made kind of a micro level of it, and it's really beneficial. You have business owners, candy coolers were there as well. They had a couple of folks there, and they donated coolers, so everybody had water sitting around the event. Wildlife for Tomorrow. I'm telling you, Wildlife for Tomorrow is I'm the vice president of Wildlife for Tomorrow, the 501c3 fundraising arm for your Arizona Game and Fish Department. We bought lunch. Yeah, so you're always the cool guy if you're at one of these events and you're the lunch sponsor. Yeah, I know. Yeah, lunch sponsor. It's me. I'm that guy. Anyway, so a gentleman came up from a national organization. I'm not going to throw anybody on the bus. I'm not going to talk poorly of anyone. He's not a person to talk poorly of. I just wasn't. I took issue with his stance on the North American model of wildlife conservation. I did because his stance was gruff. His stance was everyone's misusing this. It drives me nuts, he said, that people are misusing this. And I have issue with that. I don't mind if you say, okay, here's the nuances where people might misunderstand the North American model of wildlife conservation. Here are the little nuances that people might be getting wrong. And essentially, he was going through a history of hunting and how sportsmen and women in conservation agencies across the nation have really saved species. He showed a picture, it was wild. It was absolutely just eye-popping, of a giant mountain of bison skulls. There was a dude standing on top of the mountain holding a bison skull, and a dude at the bottom holding a bison skull for scale, and it was probably 14, 15 feet high. A mountain. So, and he was showing guns that were sold on the East Coast back in the day where they could shoot up to, dozens of birds out of the sky at one time. These things had to be held. They were probably about 6, 7 feet tall. No, probably no longer than that. 8, 9 feet tall. He said you could fit a beer can down the muzzle. I'm like, whoa. So we had to get a grip on this. We had to make sure, no, we need to regulate. We need to come up with some systems here, get some systems in place where we can conserve this resource that is not unlimited. But it had been treated as such for about 150 years here in the United States. It had been treated as an unlimited resource, all wildlife as an unlimited resource. Then we say, hey, we need to get a handle on that. So both federally on a state level, we all started getting together the ideas and started to hodgepodge, piece them together. They all started to work, what worked, what didn't, stumble here, win here, lose here, super win here, and start to piece it together. Okay. And this is a wonderful success story, not something to be, you guys got it wrong. Here, let me tell you where we're told that we got it wrong. North American model of wildlife conservation started in 2001. That's what we were told. No, it didn't. I felt like the biggest jackass just hearing that, because I have been preaching the North American model of wildlife conservation, how it, over the last 120 years, it has quite literally saved species of animals, it's saved ecosystems, it saved the world. It's the crown jewel. And I've been preaching that on this show for 11 years. And yesterday I told I was wrong. And I thought, whoa, man, thanks, Chris. Appreciate it, buddy. It is I wasn't wrong. So I was told I was wrong, and I felt sheepish. I felt like a jackass. I can't believe I've been pitching this thing wrong this entire time. It's new. It's North American model of wildlife conservation is only 20 years old, 23 years old, started in 2001. No, that's not the case. So I immediately go to the interwebs, of which there weren't much there. For some reason, the internet was terrible yesterday. I went to the phone and started looking it up. Here's what it was. In 1901, basically that was the big light bulb that went off. Like, oh, we really need, remember those numbers I gave you the other day? Remember those amazing numbers I gave you the other day from like 1900 to today and the difference? Yeah. 1901 was basically the come to Jesus here. And so we started getting those practices together. Those practices were fine-tuned and honed for that 100 years. Think about how long that is, y'all. I mean, really, double my lifetime, as I say, I would turn 49. But it's a long time to just really get things like, it's a long time, but in the kind of grand scheme of conservation, evolution, microevolution, all that, I mean, in the way species come and go in this planet, by the way, I believe it's around 90% of all species been on this planet ain't here anymore. We figured out a way to keep them around. And so in 2001, the North American model was formalized into the 7 tenets. You see how that whole, it takes on a whole new world there when you're told, yeah, you've been getting it wrong. And North American model hasn't done anything for 100 years. It wasn't even around until 2001. Oh, it was around. It just wasn't named. And speaking of names, we are going to very shortly find the drunk person that is naming birds and plants. I have no idea how people are getting away with this, and it's awesome. It's every kind of great. Okay. but we just hadn't formalized it yet and said, this is the North American model. This is what we have created. Essentially, it's probably like cornhole or ladder ball or beer pong or any bar and yard games that you're playing. People just started playing these types of games, and let me put some red cups together in a pyramid formation. We'll get the ping pong ball and we'll do this. And then they started playing it and formalizing rules, and then boom, beer pong was invented. Right. But beer pong wasn't invented that day. Beer pong had been invented back in the day when they were playing it over and over and again, weeks and weeks and years and years and years and different whatever frat rows there are. Right. Greek rows, excuse me. So that's the same thing. The model was being developed in essentially fine-tuned, honed, stumbled over, again, successes, failures. And then in 2001, they say, hey, you know something? Let's brand this sucker. Let's call it the North American Model of Wildlife Conservation. And this. So yes, the model has worked. Yes, the model is proven. Yes, the model has a 100-year track record. It was just formalized in 2001. I guess that, look, if I'm wrong, y'all know. If I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, if I get something wrong, especially on this program, I'll tell you I got it wrong. And I really thought for about 15, 20 minutes there, listening to this dude's presentation, that I was going to have to come hat in hand and just tail between my legs and say, time for me to eat crow because I've been BSing y'all. Apparently I had this wrong, but it wasn't. So I guess I'll amend my 11 years worth of statements and stories about the North American model and simply say that that it was, the process has always been in place and worked for over 100 years. It was formalized as the 7 tenets in 2001. There we go. Yeah. But don't go telling me that people are misusing and misquoting the model. No. I was saying, I apologize. People do misquote the model. People do misunderstand the model. There's a democracy line in there that has been converted to equal opportunity for all. It's being adjusted, I guess. I don't know, but not by me by any stretch of the imagination. Not by me. But there's some fantastic stats when it comes to outdoor recreation in the state that we are going to get to in probably next week. We're going to get to it. I'm going to have Ed Sanchez in. Ed Sanchez is I don't know the exact title. Ed Sanchez, I believe, is the legislative liaison for your Arizona Game and Fish Department. Anything that has to do with outdoor recreation, anything that has to do with conservation, anything that the department has its hands in, Ed is at the legislature making sure that these bozos don't screw it up. I don't care, Republican, Democrat, don't care. I've seen some stupid things from both sides. Ed's the guy that, hey, you might want to, okay. I talked to actual scientists that say if you do this, biologists that say if you don't do this, things are going to go bad. But no, it's a big win for me because the title is called All Animals Live. So I'm going to vote for that. All animals live. And no, we can't do that. So Ed Sanchez is going to join us, and he has some pretty wild pieces of legislation that have to do with off-highway vehicles, side-by-sides, players, those kind of things, and in boating and recreation as well. So we're going to talk to him about what's coming down the pipe when it comes to outdoor legislation in the state. That's huge. So we're going to have him on Tuesday, God willing. He's a super busy man. How about this? This is something dumb. We don't do politics here, but it's Arizona. You see the flag. They're only working 1 day a week. Each piece of legislation has to be read 3 times on different days. So instead of going Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, reading a piece of legislation and taking the thing to a vote, you have to read it once on Wednesday, once the following Wednesday, and then again the following Wednesday, and hope it gets called for a vote the following Wednesday. Yeah, exactly. That's why we want to talk to Ed. We learn a bunch of stuff like this, and that poor guy, God love him. He's been doing this a hot minute, and he knows there's no one in the state legislature. He does not know that he doesn't have a relationship with Republican, Democrat. He's doing his best. He's doing the best for us. He's doing the best for conservation, and I think the man should be awarded. Oh, what are you changing the subject, man? Hold on, I said I got it now. Eddie says he's going to change the subject. Hold on. Yeah. Later video pulling a bear cub from a tree and taking pictures. North Carolina. Well, let me tell you something, Eddie. I'll get to that. We'll hit that on Monday. I'm telling you. Oh boy, I actually do. There's a certain amount of Darwinism there. There really is. It's like the people that go and pet the fluffy cows in Yellowstone. Yeah, those are bison. You really don't want to pet the fluffy cows. And if you do, guess what? It's coming to you. It's coming to you. It really is. And you're going to get launched. I have so many videos. Actually, we'll do that next week as well because I found 2 videos of people trying to save a great white. I think it's a great white. I might have Mako. People trying to save a white, and I see people actually pulling animals out of traps, and I'm thinking, whew, that's some Steve Irwin stuff right there. So it's like kind of what you do. Thanks, Kim. Appreciate it. And I want, but who doesn't want to pet the fluffy cows? They're so fluffy. I have a bison tattoo. I love bison. I love bison. I would love to pet a fluffy cow. I would absolutely love to, but no, I don't want to get launched. I'd rather hunt them and have them in my freezer. There you go. ABCs of me. ABCs of me. Somebody please stop these people. Somebody stop these people who are getting drunk and naming birds and plants. I am telling you, if you got kids around, there's going to be some interesting verbiage coming out here, but nothing's going to, I can't get censored. I can't get censored. I can't get censored because I'm giving you not biological names because you can't pronounce those dang things. I'm giving you what scientists use as the name of plants and birds. And the fact that cracked out MILF hasn't been used yet surprises me. It is absolutely absurd what they name birds and get away with it, name plants and get away with it. Because if I say some of these words just in passing, not discussing a bird or a plant, I could get kicked off these platforms. I could get deplatformed for saying these things when I'm not in the context of a plant it's unbelievable. I think it's hilarious and it's fun. By the way, I was getting a haircut the other day and I saw some ESPN show, the dude with the tank top that thinks he's all tough. Yeah, he throws out the S word, and that's what he thinks is cool because he's it's gratuitous on ESPN because you can. And just so you know, a little fun fact about media. Cable news, cable channels can say any word they want. They really can. There was a time where CNN was celebrating. They heard a president, I can say which one, say an S word, and they just said it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I had to ask the radio station. I was like, how can they get away with that? They say it's cable news. It's not regulated by the FCC. It's not land. It's not antenna. Anyone can get it. You have to pay for it. And if you pay for it, then they can say whatever they want. Weird, right? Isn't that kind of crazy? All right, let's get to this because I just thought it was funny, and we're just going to kind of be in light and fun today, and except for the beginning of this, obviously, when I said that I wasn't wrong when it came to the North American model. Do we want to start with birds or do we want to start with plants? Let's just go ahead and start with birds because they're just absolutely off the rails. And one of the things that I will do is pull it off my phone because I had an entirely different list, but I think it's amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. And let's go here. And live streaming stuff is fun because that's how we do it. All right, here we go. Getting to our birds and whatnot, and probably not even going there. All right. Birds just name stuff like hot-breasted MILF, and no one does anything about it. Here we go. The first one. I'm not kidding. This is a bird that has a white, half white, half black face and has a nice brown color, little tiny dude. His name is the sombre tit. I told you, somebody's naming these things and they're getting away with it. A wonderful little bird. This is a little tiny guys. These seem to be all the tiny guys that are named weird things because the big bad boys, you just got to name. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you can probably get this one up there as well. This is a little brown bird, a little speckly. It's cute, little tiny gray beak. Its name is the dick sissel. Who's doing this? Who came up with this? Because it's not some weird language. It's not some dead Greek language. No, this is just what they're naming. Mm-hmm. The red-rumped bush tyrant. The red-rumped bush tyrant is a bird that, let's see here, is a species of bird in the family of whatever I can't pronounce. It's found in Bolivia, Colombia, and Ecuador, and Peru, by the way. And any of those languages do not translate red-rumped bush tyrant. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then there's this cool bird. It's a coastal bird with blue feet. And it's cool. It's just why don't you call it the bluefoot? That's it. I would have ended. Here's the bluefoot. Okay, let me see if I can show you on the screen here. That's the bluefoot. Yeah, bluefoot right there. So blue-footed bird, right? Yeah. Guess what? It's called the blue-footed booby. Blue-footed booby. That's what we get. That's what because why? Because blue-footed booby. Red. Grizz. Oh man, yes. Yeah. And none of those tried any good brews. We'll get to that in a minute as well. But yes. Um, and by the way, this is why you don't let people, especially crazy people, name things. If you remember this was, I think it was, I want to say it was last year, might have been the year before, but it was in recent history. Okay, where the Department of Defense thought, we're with the people. Every time that they understand that or find out that we spend trillions on trillions of dollars for stupid things, and that we just give defense contractors more money than they need in 18 lifetimes, we're going to let the community. We are going to let the Mike. It is dang good to hear from you, buddy. Mike Demlon, good to see you. Appreciate you, bud. That we're going to be a military for the people. We have a new watercraft. We have a new ship, big ship. We're going to let the people name it. We are going to let the people name it. We're going to have it on. We're going to have it on. Then the top vote getting name wins. And that's what our Navy will have. Our Navy has a ship named Bodie McBodie Pants. I'm not kidding. The winner of the contest, the winning name of the contest is Bodie McBodie Pants. And by the way, Mike Demlon, I was talking about bar games and how they kind of evolved, kind of how we evolved the model and all of that. Speaking of games, I saw the cornhole set that your brother-in-law made for you. That's hilarious, dude. What was it? It was Board McBodie face. Was that what it? Board McBodie face? I thought it was Bodie McBoat face or whatever. Board McBodie. Yeah, find it, Scotty. I love it. I appreciate that. But yeah, but you don't let people name a ship. I would end up seriously 18 votes a minute for the USS Mike Russell. I'm in. Let's go. The USS Get Outdoors. Oh, Bodie. Yeah. Oh, Bodie McBoat face. Yes. Somebody. Autocorrect is what it is. Yes. Okay. Let's get to this. I'm not even done with this. We let have a blue-footed booby. This is what you name birds. This is our outdoors. It's American. I've only found in North America, and it is a white little fluffy bird. It's a little round little puffball. Yeah. So instead of calling it white puffball, you can't call it white puffball. You have to call it the American bush tit. That's it. That's what you get to call it. You don't just call it a round puffy. Look at this little sucker. Look at this little guy. That's it. Yeah. 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 American bush tit. Yeah. And then, of course, I don't even know where it came from, but woodcock. Yeah, there you go. And here we go. The number one, the worst named bird in the history of stupid bird names. This is it. And this is absolutely it's redheaded. Okay, redheaded. It's got this beautiful, this feather pattern is gorgeous. Looks soft, looks silky. The bird has white and black wings and a black breast. It is just absolutely a beautiful little bird. Beautiful little bird. Do you know somebody went and named this guy after most likely 5 or 6 shots of Patron? This is what it was named: Andean Cock of the Rock. You think I'm kidding? Andean Cock of the Rock. That's what it's named. This is it. Yeah. That's the winner. That's the winner in every single way. That's the winner. There's no more off the rails. I got drunk and named a bird for all of time than Andean Cock of the Rock. The runner-up, though, the runner-up on birds, the runner-up on bird names was Fluffy-backed Tit Babbler. The funny thing is this has to be done by some sort of committee. It has to be done by some sort of committee. This can't be anything that's just done like somebody's. This is what I've named it now. I now declare this. I stab a flag with a word on it that says Fluffy Back Tit Babbler. Yeah. There had to have been a lot of drinking going on. I don't know about drinking or peyote or whatever the heck it was, but man, somebody was on something. Somebody was on something. Let me see. I think we got one more here. One more in the list here. Yes, yes. The tuft titmouse. What would make? Never mind. I don't even want to ask y'all what. Especially Grizz lurking around. I don't want. I don't know if I want to ask if why they named it that. But it's just as bad in the plant world. And somebody's got. When I say somebody's got to stop these people, I don't think so because why not? I mean, you think about this. Bird watching. I can't think of a more a less boring sport, more boring sport. Yeah, because bird watching is wildlife watching is a thing with the Arizona Game and Fish Department. A big push for wildlife watching and viewing. I call that an unsuccessful hunt. That's what I call wildlife viewing. Wildlife viewing is I can just settle down, bud. So the Chris, stop it. So I now I've got the names in my head. I don't even know where I was going with that. See, that's how easy it is to throw me off. All right, let's get to the plant, shall we? Before we wrap this up on a Friday, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. We're gonna do the brewmans at noon, the nooner as well. So Rob and I'll be hitting that off, and I promise we won't be naming naughty names for 10 very rude plants, according to the. This flower is also known by its Latin name, and I think there's a vowel in here somewhere, but I can't read it. It's frequently found growing around cities in the UK and has stems and leaves that take on a hairy look. That's why we call it the shaggy soldier. Shagbark is up there as well, and they are related in somewhere. All right, so this tree-like weed from South Africa that grows quickly during the warmer months. And the plant forms small mauve and white star-shaped flowers that grow into clusters. So why not call this the star cluster flower, right? Star cluster? Yeah, I think that's fantastic. It has round-shaped seed pods on it. I ain't making this up. You can't make this up. Ready? It's the family jewels milkweed. The family jewels. Like, who? I don't even want to know. Don't even want to know. This plant boasts yellow daisy-like flowers and tuft seeds, which attach to fellow plants, fur, and clothing to spread. We're getting political. Ready for this? This is the plant name. Again, the plant is daisy-like flowers and tuft seeds. Cockled herb. That's what it's called. Cockled herb. And now I'm not kidding. I can't make this up. Look, y'all, I can't make this up. Ready? Its Latin name. Its Latin name for the cockled herb is Biden's Canada. It's Biden's Canada. Oh man, the wrong day to quit drinking. Wow. Yeah, we are kids. We are. We're all just. I mean, that's why we're talking about the Pittman-Robertson Act, and the boating and angling part of that is the Dingle Johnson Act. So why isn't there a Dingle Johnson flower? The Dingle Johnson. Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly. Which name came first is a good one. Easily recognizable. It is sacred to many African communities, commonly due to its the shape of its fruit hanging from its branches. It is called the sausage tree. I'm not even going to show you, which kind of lends into the next one, which is the type of shrub, excuse me, which has a sap used as a powerful antiseptic. It grows in Australia and has the Latin name Hyptis capitata. It is the knobweed. Yeah, the knobweed. We'll go down tier two before we wrap it up here. Nipplewort. Nipplewort is a good one. Again, these people just keep naming these things the craziest thing. And the virgin sisal. But let's go with the number one because that's what we do. We go with number one. And let's see. Well, if I can get to it here, we can find that. We had Shaggy Soldier. Where did that? All right. Let's see here. Come on, get to it here. Yeah, the pop-ups are absolutely killing me here. So the number one we have and okay, here we go. The number one naughty named plant And again, we have to stop these people, at least stop them from drinking when they're naming these things. Coincidentally, this is a strong smelling plant that has strong smelling, leathering leaves that are used to make a tea that is claimed to be the herbal form of Viagra. So good. This is why we're ending on this, so we don't get deplatformed. Again, strong smelling plants, strong smelling leathering leaves that are used to make tea that is claimed to be the herbal form of Viagra. That is Latin name Diospyros crassinivus, better known to the cool kids as stiffcock. That is the herbal. Oh, look at that. It's yeah, the show's almost over. Wow. Yeah. Oh my goodness sakes. That's why I saw a list, like it just had 3 or 4 names, and I thought, is our outdoor world just gone that crazy? I mean, you think about that's where I was going with that. Think about like bird watching and things like that, and people that study plants. I mean, it's fun to an extent. It's fun. There's so many jokes. It's fun to an extent. But if you're a scientist and you're into that thing, if you have something you love, you have a passion about, it's Eddie, no, we're keeping it going, buddy. We'll call it we'll call it something else. We'll go back to get outdoors. We'll go back to go outdoors, whatever. We're gonna keep this running. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. The herbal Viagra. But anyway, you have to make it fun. I mean, oh look, another species of plant. What are we gonna call this? The Engelbert Humpty Bump or something. Whatever it is. Yeah. I just went with Engelbert Humpty Bump. I have no idea why. All right, let's get to these. Eddie, I'm definitely going to get to that link you sent. Thank you, appreciate that. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. Appreciate you guys. And everybody wants to pet fluffy cows, but let me see here, Scotty's got something. Let's see, buddy. All right, the ship in high. Seems like FX was the first channel to start. Yeah, I gotta find. Yeah, let me know what you give me a little more on that, Scotty. I appreciate that, buddy. And Mike Demlong, always good to just to see your name, buddy. Just to see your name. Let's connect. You have my number. Give me a shout, pal. I want to see what's going on. So, y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me and letting us just have some fun today. And dig my new hat. Yeah, get over to candycoolers.com. Use code GO-SHOW. Get 15% off the best cooler there is. And by the way, local company. So support. And have a great weekend. The podcast will be up here in just moments if you want to share with the family the naughtiest names you get in plant and bird life. We'll see you Monday at 11 o'clock right here on the Go Show. Have a great weekend, everybody.